Well, it's 7:03 and we do have quorum. I'm expecting Nick and Jamie to join us, which would give us voting quorum. But I suppose, Bob, if you want, we can get started.
Sure, if you think so. Do we have 4 voting members with us tonight, Andrew?
We right now only have 2 for the first case and 3 for the second.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm hoping Jamie and Nick join shortly.
Yeah. I don't know what we.
I didn't get any indication that they weren't going to be able to make it.
Sure. Well, it's I hate to do it if we only have get into this if we only have.
Right, I really wouldn't want to start the discussions
right
without them.
We only have 2 members on this, and even if we had a quorum for the second case, but we don't even have that. We only have 3 voting members.
Right, it wouldn't be a voting quorum.
Yeah, so we need at least 4 members.
Correct.
To vote on this, and right now we what do we have? Just we just have 2 for the continuation.
We do, because Alex missed the last hearing.
Right.
We haven't gotten the Mullen rule, so unfortunately we just have 2 right now.
Right. So it's just Hillary and I.
Correct.
That heard that one. And then we couldn't even say, well, we'll just take it out of place and go to the
right
second case because we don't even have a quorum for that one yet.
Correct.
I would hesitate, Andrew, to open anything up without a quorum.
I agree. If we can give it another minute or 2. Hopefully they're not having technical difficulties and can join us shortly.
Usually not. Usually I'm the one that's technically challenged. But yeah, they usually I'm sure pretty good on that. So I think if we can, if the applicants can bear with us here for a few more minutes, and hopefully we'll have a quorum, because there really isn't anything we can do without a quorum.
Yes, so please do bear with us. Let me shoot an email out.
Okay.
Well, here's Glenn.
Okay. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Glenn. We're still just waiting on a voting quorum, unfortunately. So
I'm not late.
nope.
I can't hear Rob.
Right. No, we haven't started the meeting yet because we haven't had we don't have a quorum yet. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
For
Good,
either
so-
cases. Yeah.
Well, it's better you than not me. Thanks, Brett.
No problem.
Maybe, Bob, in the meantime, we could do minutes. I don't know if that makes sense.
I think we could.
Yeah, and that way at least we.
I think that's something three of us can handle here.
Yeah,
Huh?
I think so.
Hillary and myself. Why don't we do that?
All right. Well, I sincerely apologize to the applicants. Please bear with us as I wait for some answers.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll
that
get some
hopefully will
information.
be attending.
Okay.
But yes, Bob, Hillary, and Alex, if you don't mind, we can start with some minutes.
Right. I don't think we don't need a quorum for minutes.
Correct. So I think you can. I don't know if you're officially called to order, Bob. Maybe you want.
I will go ahead and do that. I will officially call to order the May 20th meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals, Reading, Massachusetts. And seeing that we do not have a quorum as of this time, we are waiting to get messages from possibly other board members that they may join us. We're going to do the minutes right now. Hillary, Alex, why don't we touch base on the November 5th, 2020 meeting. I know, Alex, you were not there at that meeting, so Hillary and I can take that. Hillary, do you have any comments on that meeting?
I do. Page 2, second paragraph. It says, because they had always planned to stay in Reading for a long time, I think we can take off for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And the only other one, that was one of the ones I saw, Andrew, that under the members present, it looked like Cindy's name was misspelled there.
Yep, I corrected that. Thank you.
Okay, and with Hillary's comment, if there's nothing else, I will take a motion to accept the meetings of November 5th, 2020.
I have another one. I don't know.
Okay.
So page 3, the first paragraph, last sentence. It says, Mr. Redfern opined waiting till the board is closer to conflicting. I think Mr. Redfern suggested possibly. I feel like he wasn't giving an opinion at that point.
Fine, waiting till the board is close. That's fine. Yeah.
And that's all my corrections.
Awesome.
But,
Thank you. That's a good suggestion.
yeah. Okay, with those comments included in a revised minutes, do I have a motion to accept those minutes of November 5th, 2020?
I'll move to accept those minutes
Okay.
As amended.
as amended.
As
Yes,
amended.
please.
And I'll second that motion. And all those in favor, Cindy?
Hillary and Alex.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cindy. Hillary, yes, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, and myself, yes. My apologies, Hillary.
I
That's
believe
okay.
Alex can vote on them even if he was not at the meeting.
Right. Okay, now the next minutes that I have that I looked through, and again, it was Cindy's name on that one on December 17th, 2020 meeting.
Yep. Got that one as well. Thank you.
Right. Hillary, any further comments did you have on that?
I did not.
Okay. I would take a motion then to accept the minutes of December 17th, 2020.
I move to accept the minutes of December 17th of 2020
Okay, as amended with the change to Cindy's name.
as
Yeah.
amended with Cindy's name.
Yeah, right. And I'll second that motion. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, myself. Okay, pass. And the next minutes, we do have Alex in attendance on that meeting, which was March 4th.
Correct.
I wasn't present, but can I have a suggestion?
You can suggest and you can vote as well.
Okay. So
Okay.
page 2, third paragraph, it says, Mr. Sullivan stated there is drainage easement on site, but it has not impact. I think it should be, but it does not impact, or it has no impact.
It has no impact, yeah.
Yep.
It, right, either one. I would say it has no impact.
Yep, that's what I went with.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I would agree with that. Anything else?
Looking. I think that was it.
Alex, anything?
Yeah, I had no comments on that.
Okay. I would then take a motion from a board member to accept the minutes of March 4th, 2021 as amended.
Make the motion to accept the minutes of March 4th, 2021 as amended.
Okay, do I have a second?
A second.
Okay, all those in favor? Alex?
Aye.
Cindy, Hillary?
Yes.
Okay, and myself, yes. Thank you. And we have one more set of minutes here. And that is April 15th, 2021.
Correct.
And Alex missed that meeting.
Yep, but
So-
please again make
Yep.
suggestions.
Yeah. On that one. Again, I read through it and I didn't have any comments. Nothing jumped out at me to be obtuse or obstructive. Hillary, any comments?
I am checking. I have a note for myself here. I'm just double checking.
Okay.
I read through them. I had no comments.
Okay. Read yours, Alex. Very good.
Okay, Mr. McNichol opined that the board not approve. I think it should be cannot approve any second driveways unless engineering endorses the concept, or
Sorry, what page and paragraph?
oh, sorry,
Alright.
page 5, and then it's 1, 2, 3, fourth, second to last sentence in the fourth paragraph. So it says, yeah, right there, Mr. McNichol opined that the board not approve, or is it cannot approve, or
Yeah,
I can say stated that the board.
yeah,
stated. That's fine.
stated that the board cannot approve or
Yeah.
should not. Okay.
Or should not. It's probably a better.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Okay, I would say maybe, yeah, the board should not approve any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was all my notes.
Okay. I would take a motion to approve those minutes of April 15th, 2021 as amended.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of April 15th as amended.
Okay, thank you, Hillary. I will second that then. And all those in favor? Andrew, you can vote on, or excuse me, Alex, you can vote on this even though you weren't there. You are a board member. So Alex? Okay,
Yes, I.
very good, thank you. Hillary?
Yes.
And myself, yes. So that should take care of the 4 sets of minutes that we had, Andrew, right?
Correct. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Um,
Have we got any responses from,
I have not gotten a call back nor emails back from either Jamie or Nick, unfortunately.
well, the only thing I can think of is number one, we can vote. And I hesitate to open certainly a meeting if we have no quorum to listen to it, to the case. All I can think of is we should ask the applicants if they would be.
Here's Jamie, which would give us.
Pardon?
Here's Jamie now, which will
Oh.
give us 3 on Howard Street. And
Yeah.
4.
Oh, yes.
You're muted, Jamie.
I'm so sorry to be late. I got tied up and lost track of time, but here I am now.
Okay.
Thank you, Jamie.
And we're still lacking a full quorum then for the continuation, but we do have 4 members that could hear the new case that we're opening tonight, and then go back to if Nick joins us, go back to the continuation, Andrew?
Correct. I think that's the best path forward.
Okay, why don't we do that then?
Oh, here's Nick right now.
Is Nick now?
Yep, I believe so.
Oh, great.
Great timing.
Okay.
Welcome, Nick.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, hi, Nick. Yeah.
I had some difficulties getting onto my laptop.
No worries. It happens over Zoom. Hopefully, we won't be on
Yeah.
Zoom too much longer.
Very good. Okay. So,
All right. Well, with that, I think we are ready to get started. Thank you all for joining. I'm staff planner Andrew McNichol. I'm joined with other staff, building commissioner Brett Bennett and building inspector Glenn Redmond. We're also joined with the Zoning Board of Appeal members, Chairman Robert Redfern, Nicholas Bernice, Hillary Mateve, Jamie Mon, and Alex Normandin. We're going to keep this to our usual style of the board introducing the applicant, who will give them a presentation of their proposal. The board will then question the applicants, and then after such, we can open to public comment. So I don't see any here immediately. And then with that, we can move forward. So we do ask that you don't use the chat feature in Zoom unless you absolutely need to. You can chat me for technical difficulties or shoot me an email. And then, as always, just please speak when the chair acknowledges you. So with that, Bob, I think we can go ahead and get started.
Okay, thank you. And again, my apologies to the applicants here tonight for the delay. But we do have a 4-member quorum for the continuation here now. And I think we can go on with ZBA case number 21-04. Now, at the opening of the last meeting, when we opened this, I did read the legal notice and went through everything. I don't believe I have to do that again. And
Correct.
everybody was sworn in at that meeting
Correct.
that wanted to speak. So I think we're all set with that. And at that particular case, I will turn it over to the applicant, and if he would like to go over what changes he's made on that, Mr. Penny, on changes to the plan, etc., and we can go from there and have any questions from board members. So the floor is yours, Mr. Penny.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We rethought this whole addition because of the different issues that we were looking for, 2 setback variances, and but basically the plans that I put together and they're before you now have the front yard setback at 20 feet. The other part of the setback is at 15, but as the side yard goes up to this crazy angle, we're looking for a variance, if you will, from that 6 feet to the side yard setback versus 15 in the corner. How we achieved this was moving the whole addition back slightly, giving up on the idea that there would be a garage, although the client was very upset about not having a garage. We divided the space on the first floor into storage and since everybody's working from home now and doing Zoom meetings, the idea was to put a study underneath what is really needed is the master bedroom. So in short, what we're looking for is a variance based on a hardship of lot shape or size for a side yard setback of 6 feet versus 15. And we changed the design slightly to mimic the design of the front of the house. We now don't need a driveway. We don't have to take out the other driveway. There are a lot of positives on this this plan versus the one that we originally submitted a few weeks ago. With that, I'll turn it over to the owner, Mr. Mello.
Yeah, thanks, Bill, for that. I think you covered the meeting pretty well. The prior meeting that we had when we came forward with the proposal for the 2-story addition that included the garage, with the variance pursued on the basis of the hardship for the non-conforming lot. As Bill had mentioned, we received some feedback from the board. Some of that was 2 of the variances were a lot to consider. There was the 2 driveway issue as well. There was a question on the fit for the neighborhood and infringement on the neighboring properties, and the question also on why to build on the left side of the property rather than the right side of the property. So I think we've addressed a lot of those by this redesign, by removing the garage and replacing that with a study and a storage area on the first floor. It removes the driveway as well as the curb cutting. Resizing it and repositioning takes the number of setback variances that we're looking for down from 2 to 1. In addition to that, what we've done is we've also spoken with the neighbors again. If you all remember, we had discussed with the neighbors the proposals. The neighbors are fine with that, and they've signed a letter, and that letter was signed by all the surrounding homes that touch the property, as well as the people that are across the street. We also did take some pictures, if that's going to be helpful for the board, that I could show that on the right side of the property, it's only about 22 feet between the last wall of my house and the house next to me. So if we were to do something on that side, it would be really right on top of the neighboring home. On the left side of the house, we have 40 feet between the house and the property line. and there's still probably 80 to 100 feet to the other house, so it'd still be significantly far away. I think also the way that Bill has designed this addition, it looks a lot more like the house. The addition looks a lot more like the house, and it's a lot more fitting to the house. So with that, nothing more to add, and happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I will ask Glenn, do you have anything you would like to enlighten the board about it all, Glenn?
No, I don't. It was obvious we couldn't issue this permit because a variance was required. I think this is a continuation with a different modification. I don't have the original proposal with me to look at. So I guess they improved. This building is not longer a garage, is it?
No, it's not.
No. Okay, so we don't have to worry about a second curb cut.
No second curb cut, no driveway.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Okay, thank you, Glenn. If that's it, I will go to board members then, if they would have any questions, and I will go to Hillary first.
So I appreciate your addition and taking into account, or your revision and taking into account the notes that Nick mentioned last time, where it is a very odd site plan and lot division in this area. I am much more comfortable with this proposal than the previous proposal, and I appreciate the new design of the front, keeping it more like the original house, and I feel comfortable with the revisions that you have done.
Okay, thank you, Hillary. Let's see, I will go to Alex. You will not be, you did not hear this originally, I believe, right, Alex?
I did not know.
No, so you will not be voting on this. I will go to Jamie Mon right now then. If you have any questions or comments, Jamie.
Thank you very much, Bob. Like Hillary, I much appreciate the revisions. I think it's a much improved plan. I do have a couple questions, though. So it's still 2 stories, but now the first story is an office or just a normal part of the house rather than a garage, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, good. The other question, and I appreciate the letter, but I haven't seen that. Did I miss it? Did you send that letter to the board?
We have not sent it yet, but we do have that letter. I do not have the digital copy on me, but I do have the contents of the letter. I believe unfortunately, I'm traveling at the moment and was not able to get this in the mail before I left, but I do plan on sending this in.
Well, I think that's very important, and I appreciate your efforts in getting that. I would like to see that either before we vote, or if we can make the approval contingent on seeing that letter. Not that we don't trust you. I'm sure you have the letter, but I think it's our due diligence to see it. And then just 2 more questions. Andrew, the setback is 15 feet, correct? That's the prescribed setback in the zone.
Side setback.
Side setback, right. And so you meet that except for the funny shape of the lot. So I think that's about all you can do. And then my final question, Andrew, if you could put up that plan view again. I just got a little lost when you were citing distances left and right. I didn't know if you meant left facing the street or left facing the house. So if you could just go over those distances again, either maybe using east or west or something. just your final comments there about the number of feet to the adjacent houses.
Sure. So if I'm really not quite sure which way is east and west, but you see where the
The
driveway
east
is
would be
and
on the right as
on
you
the
look
right?
at that plan. Yeah.
Yeah, Howard Street runs east-west.
Right.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, so on the side here with the proposed addition,
The east. Okay. I'm with you.
yep. So there we have the 15 feet to the property line right at the top, and there's still probably about 100 feet to the house that's on the corner of Howard and West Street. So there's just a lot of space there, a large yard
Okay.
that the neighbor has there.
Okay.
On the other side, where you see the 18.9, where the driveway, the neighbor's house is pretty much on that line. 2 feet off of that is
Okay.
where the neighbor's house is. And I do have a photo of it on a presentation. I could share the screen if you'd like to see it.
No, I'm good. That makes perfect sense, and now I understand a little better. So, I appreciate your changing your revising your plan, and I support this. But I do want to see that letter from the neighbors. I think that should go in the record.
Sure. We'll submit that electronically to the board immediately, and then we will get it in the mail as soon as logistically possible.
Okay.
And then Bob, if I can, Glenn just raised his hand for a comment.
Okay. Yeah. Andrew, can I see the elevation, the rear elevation drawing of that? Okay, there's a ramp at the rear. It looks like a ramp where
That's
the two
correct.
doors are.
Yes, that goes into the storage room.
All right, but the ramp is not indicated on the plot plan because that's going to encroach into the setback also.
That's true.
Well, it should be indicated on the plan, and there should be a size to it if the board's going to approve that.
We can certainly add that to the plan.
Okay. Okay, that's it. No, thank you for that insight, Glenn. We appreciate it. And if Jamie is James, if you're done, we'll go to Nick then. Nick, any comments on this or questions?
Thank you. Just a quick comment. I think the applicant's done their due diligence. As mentioned earlier, I think the irregular shape of the lot necessitates this variance. If it was a right angle, there would be setbacks there, or at least it wouldn't encroach further into the setbacks. So I don't have any issues with this. I think I appreciate more the curb cut, the extra curb cut, not being part of the application. That's all I have.
Thank you, Nick. Somebody commenting on something or?
I think it's background noise on somebody's mic.
I will go ahead then, and I think we've gone through the three board members that are going to vote on this, and then myself tonight. Again, like the other board members, I was pleased to see that the addition was downsized a bit, and setbacks were met as best as could be, I think. And you know, it's a difficult lot. It looks to me like it's just about a 30, 60, 90-degree triangle with the truncated legs cut off there, or the sharper points. I'm sure if you put the building envelope on this, you would find that they lose probably most of the back of the parcel. to any type of building at all there. So I would support, what we have here, because I think it's a very, very difficult lot. And I think it meets the criteria for an awkward or a unique lot shape on this particular one. And I think that's, a good idea. Now, maybe something on the ramp at the rear of the addition could be done to avoid encroaching any further than the 6 feet. I don't know, but maybe they could look into that. And if we voted on this tonight, Andrew, do we need a condition on eliminating the existing curb cut to the existing garage that's there?
I do not believe we will now need that condition as previously requested if there were 2 driveways.
Okay.
I do agree with Jamie that you can condition that the letter be submitted, and you can also condition that the ramp or access be no more than the encroaching 6-foot setback.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not even sure we're going to need a ramp. It really depends on the grade there. So that might not even be a structure. We really don't know at this point. Hopefully it's a very, you could walk right in. You don't even need a ramp.
Okay. Well, you realize, Mr. Penny, that if in fact you did put a structure there, whether it be a small stoop with a ramp or just a ramp, concrete ramp or something like that, you may have to come back to the board then, if in fact it was approved as shown on this plot plan.
I understand. Or the board could just say that if we build a ramp and submit something to the building department that doesn't encroach on that 6 feet, as Andrew had just mentioned.
Yes. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we could do that. Okay.
Excuse me,
Glenn just raised
put
his
up that
hand.
picture of the ramp again.
That's the rear elevation.
The rear elevation.
Yeah.
And Glenn, you're on mute. You had raised your hand if you want to chime in.
See, now
You're still on mute, Glenn.
Yeah, it doesn't look like much, and maybe the ground itself can be graded. So rather have a ramp there that the lawn comes up around and meets that. Yeah. But
That would not be ideal. So
no.
we didn't actually shoot any topos on this, so I'm not even sure we're going to need a ramp because it's pretty flat there. So
Okay.
really, we'd have the slab that's poured in that storage area at grade level.
Glenn, did you have a comment? You were on mute while you.
No, I'm can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. No, if there's no ramp shown, then there would be no physical ramp built at the site unless they go back to zoning board of appeals, unless they want to designate on this plan what size the ramp is now, then that would have to be approved, by the board. So something has to be designated, or we just leave it off completely.
Right.
Nick?
Yeah, I think we should ignore the ramp for now. It's not on the plot plan. I don't think we should vote on it if it's not on the plot plan anyways. So that's all I got.
Right. I would agree with you, Nick.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we have any further questions from board members or anybody? Glenn? If not, I will open it up to public comment.
Seeing none. Bob?
If I could just to ask a question about the ramp again, I'd hate for you have to come back. If the ramp was added, but it was 15 feet from the lot line, they would not have to come back, correct? In other words, if that ramp was more on the western side of the addition than the eastern side, and it was 15 feet from the lot line, they would not have to come back, correct?
Yeah.
I defer to Glenn, but I do believe that would be correct.
No, if the ramp is 15 feet, we're fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, looking at the elevation drawing, if the ramp comes off from the back of the building, it's going to encroach more than the 6 feet from the property line.
Right. I enjoy hearing from the applicant, but I don't want him to have to come back again just for a little ramp.
So I think that it would be very easy to move that doorway over so that in the case that we have to build a ramp, we'll make sure that it meets the 15 feet so that then we only have to pull a permit, an additional permit just for the ramp. And we won't have to bother you gentlemen for another go around on a variance for a ramp.
It's no bother. We're charging overtime, so there's no problem.
Okay. Okay. And Andrew, did you hear that I opened this up for public comment? Do we have any public comment come in tonight?
I did hear you, and we have none. I have not received any letters, emails, nor hands raised.
Phone calls or anything? Okay. If that's the case, I will close the public portion of the meeting. And unless there's further questions from board members, I would entertain a motion to approve the application as revised and submitted. Or
Bob, if I could just clarify for them, you have 4 voting members on this case right now, and you need all 4 to vote in the affirmative.
Right.
For the approval. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are missing one of the other members that heard this before. Yeah. Excuse me. Jamie, could I ask you to make the motion? I know you had some concerns about that letter, and maybe you want to.
I think Nick was raising his hand, so I don't want to pre.
No, it's all you, Jamie, if you want it.
Hey,
I can do it too. Doesn't matter.
Okay, I move we approve the application for 120 Howard Street with the condition that the letter described at the meeting be submitted to the board.
Say Public Services Department letter submitted to us.
Okay. Are we going to make references to the plans, James?
Sure. I don't have the dates in front of me, but
it's the plot plan prepared for 120 Howard Street, Reading, Massachusetts, dated May 7th, 2021, prepared by Edward J. Farrell, professional land surveyor, 110 Wynn Street, Woburn, Mass.
I'll accept that as a friendly amendment to the motion.
Okay, and would you like to make reference to the, I believe, there's just, let's see, 3 architectural plans that were submitted. And I think we can just note we could reference those plans that it would be built in, what word am I looking for here? In not to the letter here, but to in general conformance to those architectural plans.
Right, the architectural plan submitted with the application. Yes.
Right. Okay. I have a motion presented on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you, Hillary. And any further questions by board members? If not, I will go through the board members and get their votes then. I have Hillary up on my screen. Hillary?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Jamie?
Yes.
Thank you. Nick?
Yes.
Thank you. And myself, I will vote yes on this also. So it is a unanimous 4-0-0 vote on this tonight, and that's a full quorum.
All right, thank you, Bill and Tim. We will get you that decision, and Bob will coordinate the stamped plans and decision with you as well.
Right. Right, and James, you'll write that up. You can coordinate with Andrew on that, getting it written up.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Andrew.
No problem.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Andrew.
Okay, so that is the first case we had on the agenda tonight. And
Glenn has his hand up.
Glenn, did you have a comment? Hand must be getting tired.
Yeah. Well, who had their hand up? Somebody? No? Okay. Okay, are we ready to proceed, Andrew, on to the next case?
I do believe so.
Okay, thank you. I will go ahead and read the legal notice as it was published in the paper. ZBA case number 21-05. The Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing through remote and online measures on Thursday, May 6th, 2021 at 7 p.m. And I'll insert that was due to town meeting. The date was changed to May 20th, 2021. It had to be continued to. On the application of John Hammond, pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, subsection 10, for a special permit and a variance under Reading zoning bylaws, section 4.5, 4.5.2, 6.3, 7.0, 7.3, and 7.4, as may be determined by the zoning board, to build a one-story addition for an enclosed porch on an existing non-conforming side yard setback, and that would increase the lot coverage to 29.9% on the property located at 14 Kingston Street, Assessors Map 21, Lot 199 in Reading, Massachusetts. Unless there is an objection, I will dispense with the reading of the abutters list, except to say that the abutters were notified, as were the following: Select Board, Police Department, Building Department, Health Department, Engineering Division, Town Clerk, Fire Department, Conservation Commission, Assessor's Office, CPDC, members and associate members of the Board of Appeals, as well as the planning boards of Wakefield, North Reading, Woburn, Linfield, Stoneham, and Wilmington. Now, testimony given before this board is taken under oath. So if you think you may want to speak tonight, please raise your right hand and repeat it repeat. I will give you the oath. I swear that the testimony given by me before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And the response is?
I do.
I think we lost your mic, Bob.
Okay, I'm moving.
There you go.
I'm moving my, moving my mouse around here, try to get it back. The floor is yours, Mr. Hammond, and if you'd like to go over your what your proposal is here.
Sure, I appreciate it, sir.
Okay.
So essentially, I've got a non-conforming lot. My home is 140 years old. My request, as you mentioned, is to build an enclosed porch on a previously approved deck that was built 32 years ago on the property. The porch itself will basically square the corner on the back left portion of my house. It won't break the plane on either side of that. I'm already, as you can see, within 6 feet of the fence line of my neighbor. But they did that 140 years ago, and it's a small lot. It's only 6,900 square feet. When they built that deck 32 years ago, you can see in blue the area marked which is a series of steps going up to the elevated area by the pool. And then if you look to the right, it's going down 16 inches from the deck to the garage. It's a walkway between a retaining wall and a house. By building that, they actually broke, it exceeded the original approval for the deck, but it's not really usable deck space. It's a walkway, but it is decked. So it does violate the zoning rule. And roughly 250 square feet is the difference between 25% of my land and 29%. And that represents that area there. And so my goal is to square that corner that's marked in the lower corner with the X that squares the corner of my home, build an enclosed porch.
Okay. Thank you. Maybe you are asking for a variance on this particular case also, a special permit and a variance?
I believe that's because that previous deck built 32 years ago broke the 25% rule.
Ah. Okay, I will ask Glenn, is that the particular case on this now, that even though it was built 25 years ago, we need to have a variance today on that?
Well, the lot, in my opinion, yes. I don't know that it was built 25 years ago.
Actually, 32 years ago.
Or whatever it was. The lot coverage exceeds the 25% allowable area, and the only way you can get over that is by getting a variance for that. Or I think the zoning board of appeals would have to make a determination that that portion of the structure has existed for more than a 10-year period, and you can make a finding that that is okay.
Okay.
Okay, I don't see a letter of denial in my package of information here, but I believe I did write one. Okay, that might help explain it a little bit. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so a recent plot plan, all right, indicates technically there's a zoning violation with the lot coverage as we speak. So I think now we have another proposal for a vertical structure on top of the deck, meaning the sunroom or whatever room. I think it's a sunroom or a two-story.
It's a one-story, basically enclosed porch sunroom.
Okay, a one-story enclosed porch. So I think that would qualify for a special permit. I think we have to get over the 29% lot coverage one way or another, either by granting a variance or making a finding if the applicant can, prove to the board that it existed for more than a 10-year period.
Right.
So I would add that I've lived here for about 2 years. The Jones family, I think Mrs. Jones is either a member of something with the town now. They lived here for 25 years. They didn't build it. They said the only thing they did was they replaced the decking with permawood. But I reached back to them. They said everything was constructed as it was in 1989. They just they put new wood over the top of it, the permawood, but they didn't replace it. And if you look at it, if you didn't do that, you'd be stepping off a 16-inch thing into dirt. And so I understand why they did it. They probably should have just asked to do it properly 32 years ago. But you couldn't possibly, the way it's configured, not have done what you did, because you're going down 16 inches to the ground.
Right. Okay. Well, I think we've kind of clarified some things. Question I had, Mr. Hammond. Now we got your plot plan. You have the existing deck is colored in yellow. At least on the plan that I got in my packet, I'm looking at, right? And then you had the rest of the deck colored in a blue color. And what's the difference between the existing deck and the deck that's in blue? Is that
so the portion in blue I was pointing out is that 5x8 walkway.
Yeah.
Between the house, so that's the area that it may have exceeded initial plans, and the steps up you can see is not really usable deck space. It's the steps going. And so that other, you can see those 4 areas, those are descending platforms that take you down the 16 inches.
Right. So are you saying the yellow area was the original deck?
Yeah, well, it was the approved deck. They built everything back 32 years ago.
Deck. Yeah, back then. Now,
I wanted to give you an indication of what they exceeded by.
Right, okay. And in the upper right-hand corner of the plot plan that was submitted, you also have in that blue area.
That's the same picture. It's a close-up.
But what's the area that's the slash is blue? Yeah, what's that area? The slash blue.
So that's the same level as the deck, but again, it's only by a 5x8 piece of property that is a pass-through. I was trying to be as transparent as possible on what the usable space was.
Okay. Okay. Well, hopefully the board members can understand that now, and that's what I just wanted to clarify. And I will go to board members now and ask if they have any questions, comments, etc. on this. Nick, would you like to comment first tonight?
Yeah, sure. So I'm just looking for a little clarification. My thoughts are, if you were going to rebuild exactly what was there, and you can prove it's been there for at least 10 years, it's immune from zoning enforcement, and I think that would be fine. But could the applicant make a little bit clearer what they're planning to do that's above and beyond what's already existing?
Sure. If I could answer that in two parts. The first part, I'm not sure how I could prove it other than having the former owners, the Joneses, swear an affidavit to you, I guess, was the only thing. They had a permit from the town 32 years ago, though, to build the deck.
Okay.
And that's on file at Town Hall. With respect to the construction, I also submitted the architectural renderings for the enclosed porch, which would take up that back left corner and square the corners on each side.
All right. I guess that's all I have. I just hope to hear a little bit as we go along more about how each of the zoning criteria is met for a variance. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Andrew, Nick. James, I will ask you any questions, comments.
I think I support this, but like Nick, I'm a little bit confused. I just want to make sure I understand. So what you're really building is a porch where there is currently deck.
Correct.
And so that porch will obviously have a roof over it and the deck does not.
Correct.
But as far as the footprint on the ground, you're identical to what's there now.
Correct.
And I think you said that right now the structure, including the deck, is 29% of the lot. Correct?
Correct.
And when you're finished, it will be exactly the same.
Exactly, yes.
And you don't meet the side setback currently.
Not in 140 years.
And you're not going to meet it when you do your action. So I think really,
in a sense, I'm kind of paying for the sins from 32 years ago.
I don't think it's a sin. People built close to the property line 32 years ago. But
no, I mean the 29% going over the 25% by that additional decking they did, because it was basically dead space between the retaining wall and the house that they basically planked out to make it like a graduated step down to the garage.
Right, but to the best of our knowledge, it's been that way for 20, 30 years.
Correct.
So I don't think I have a problem with it as long as the footprint's the same, the lot coverage is the same, the setbacks are the same. I guess the only reason you're before us is because you're changing the use from a deck to a porch.
And for that additional 4% to get permission, I have to clear that up to move forward, I guess. At least that was my understanding.
I see what you mean. But we could never make you rip that out.
It would just be a drop into dirt in between two other structures.
Yeah. Right, right. I'd be curious what the other members have to say, and might have another thought. But for right now, I'm good. And if my understanding is correct, I support this application.
And I think Andrew popped a picture up that really kind of gives you a visual of what that looks like. That's the area in question that was built that exceeded the permit capability.
Okay.
Yes, I would agree. That would be wasted space, and yeah, as I said, if I understand this correctly, I definitely support the application.
Right. Okay. Thank you, James. And I will go to Hillary now. Any comments, questions, Hillary, on this particular case?
You're on mute.
I'm in support of the concept of replacing the existing deck and adding a shelter above. I have walked past this area and you do not see it from the street unless you're trying very hard. And it is existing deck, and I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, thank you. I think we have Alex with us tonight too. Alex, any questions, comments on this?
Nope. For me, having clarification on the, I guess the 10-year max,
Right.
really clears things up in regards to the existing deck. I guess I did have a question, and this could just be me. Looking at the square footage numbers on the plot plan and how we arrive at the 29.9%. I'm looking at the existing building coverage, and by that calculation, that comes out to the 29% already, not including the remaining deck.
Well, the 29% includes all the deck, including the part that wasn't permitted, and the enclosed porch will go on the existing deck.
Yep, so that's right. So that's not anything.
Right, that's the way I understood that.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, Alex?
Yep.
Okay. Myself as the fifth board member here tonight on this, I'm looking at it as, yeah, that we have an area out behind this house now that has been decked over is the applicant, and he's under sworn testimony that is beyond 10-year period that is decked over. He is not going to increase the footprint. He is just going to enclose a portion of that deck and make it a porched area, not increasing the footprint, not increasing setbacks, etc. on that. I would support that. And my thoughts on it, I think maybe with the board to clean this up, as maybe Glenn suggested, is that the board has to, number one, first make a finding that, under that the applicant has made a statement and he's under oath that that decking has been there as far as he knows, and he's done research on it for over the 10-year period, and it's been unenforced. So then it becomes legal non-conforming, and he's putting this decking on, and then in that particular case, I think then we could go on with a special permit and give them a special permit to enclose that portion of the deck shown on the plot plan for a special permit on that. That's my thoughts on that anyway. I will, unless anybody has any further questions right now, I can go to and open this up to public comment. If not, Andrew, have we received any public comment letters? Do we have anybody waiting to comment on this or anything?
We have not received any abutter input electronically, and nor do I see any hands raised in the meeting from any public bodies.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. In that case, I will close the public portion of the meeting, and I will go back to any board member that may have additional questions or comments on this. Feel free to speak up.
I just for my own information, when we calculate lot coverage, we include the garage, but not the pool. Is that correct?
You include what, James?
The garage is part of that 29%.
Yes.
The pool is not included in the 29%. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Glenn, can you comment on that, Glenn, or would you like?
Yeah, we include the pool, garages or structures used for storage are included in lot coverage area.
Okay. Thank you.
The in-ground pool would not be. Obviously, the decks are the main structure and porches would.
Right.
I'm just trying to run the numbers on those plans. When I add up all those numbers, I get 2,214 square feet and not 1962. So I'm just trying to find what that discrepancy is. Kind of what Alex, I think, was alluding to. And then if it really is 2214, that comes to like 33% lot coverage. And I don't know if that changes the board's opinion or not. It's all existing. But I'm just trying to get that number correct.
Right.
If I could just add, this is a brand new plot plan that was completed and then reevaluated at Glenn's request.
So it's either excluding the garage or the farmer's porch, because it's exactly 252 square feet below.
You are correct.
Well, with the odd shape of the structure, could that be part of the problem? But I think maybe Hillary has solved the mystery.
I think she did. One of those, I think, was left out. Glenn, the farmer's porch would count towards lot coverage, correct?
Yeah. Yes, farmer's porch count. Stairs are exempt. The pool is exempt. The garage, decks, and everything else would count.
Right.
So
has the farmer's porch existed for more than 10 years, to the best of your knowledge, Mr. Hammond?
Yes. I think it's been around probably 50, 60, 80 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought the question basically was that the building lot coverage, when you added up all those figures, and I'll have to say I did not do it, but when you add those, they do not come to the figure of 1,962 square feet, but something different. Is
Correct.
That right?
They come to 2214, which then if you divide that.
33.8.
Yep, exactly.
And the difference happens to be between what you add those up and what's shown there is exactly 252 square feet.
Yep.
Yes,
So
sir.
it maybe is that the surveyor then just miscalculated.
Yeah, I think so.
No.
I don't know.
Well, I would go back to just that the original point is everything has been here for 32 years and nothing will change in the square foot coverage.
Right. Right. But what we don't like Mr. Hammond, is endorsing a plan that is incorrect
I understand.
as a board. So I think you kind of got an idea from all the board members, you know, which way we're leaning, or we, you know, how we feel on this. I think a way to clean this up would be to what I suggested before, that number one, we make a finding that that existing area at the rear of the house that is all deck right now, existing deck area, has been there for 10 years or more, or in excess of a 10-year period, maybe is the way to do it. And that's through your testimony, which is sworn testimony. And then go ahead and vote on a special permit. But what we would typically be doing is specifying as shown on a plot plan. And I would hate to do it on an incorrect plot plan. And I'm thinking maybe what we're going to need to do is have you go back to your surveyor and check that, and maybe make a correction on it. And we maybe have to hold off voting on this until the next meeting or something. Andrew, what's your thoughts on that?
I think if you're going down that path, if the board felt comfortable, you could condition the approval under the submittal of a new plot plan with the correct calculations before any permit is issued, before any building permit or anything is issued. But if you're not comfortable with that, you can request the continuance. So those would be, Jamie, if you want to.
Mr. Chairman, if we approve this with that 29% coverage, that would be a disservice to the applicant, because if somebody came back later and it's really 32%, then they would be penalized. So I think it's the applicant's advantage to do something what Andrew said, that it'd be contingent upon confirming the lot coverage. But I would ask, I guess, Hillary or Andrew, where are the numbers you're adding up to get the 2,000 some square feet? Are they on the plot plan?
Yes, it says building percent coverage or percent building coverage there.
Ah,
you see that?
I do see it. Thank you. So maybe those are wrong, or something's left out.
I think either they left out the garage or the farmer's porch, because it's exactly 252 square feet lower.
Yeah, one or the other. But yet they're on there. Well, you know, I much prefer to have a correct plan, but I suppose we could do what Andrew has noted, that we do recognize that the building coverage, as noted on the plan, appears incorrect, though there is no change from the existing and where the proposed addition is going to go. There's been no change on that. It's just appears to be an arithmetic error on that.
Right, and I think because if the board is going with a finding and not an approved variance, you don't have to specifically say 33.8%.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and I think we just maybe can do it that way. I would go to the vice chair. Nick, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm comfortable doing a condition.
Okay.
As you mentioned, just recognizing that the current plot plan is incorrect.
Right.
Nothing changing.
Well,
There's no conditions that are changing.
Yeah, it appears that the square footage on the building coverage, it appears incorrect. We could note something to that effect. Okay. If the board would like to proceed this evening, I would go ahead and and request a motion then from somebody.
What are we making a motion on, the finding or the special permit?
Number one, I think we have to make a finding. So it'd be almost like a two-part. We'd make a finding that the existing decking, as shown on the plot plan, based on sworn testimony by the applicant, has been in place in excess of 10 years. And make a finding on that, and then go ahead and do a special permit and on that. And let's see, I get the variance on a special permit. I don't know exactly what section on the special permit, Andrew, on that. Maybe you want to quickly look that up. It would be on 7 point. I think it's.
I think it's 7.0 and 7.3.
7.3, I think
Yep.
it is. Yeah, on that, if I recall. Yeah. So I would entertain a motion then to something to that effect that we were just discussing.
And if I can just advocate, I would put that condition under the special permit.
Yes,
Discuss.
yes, because that's where we'll be making reference to the plot plan is under the special permit.
Right.
Whereas on the first part of this case, you may say is just a finding. Yeah.
Exactly.
Nick, maybe I could ask you to make that motion.
Yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
So first, I'll motion to make a finding that the decking in the applicant's application has indeed been there for at least 10 years and is immune from zoning enforcement.
Based on applicant's sworn testimony, I think it's good to throw in. Yeah. Put it
Based
in.
on the applicant's sworn testimony.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a second on that motion for a finding?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Hillary. And any further questions from board members? If not, I will query the board members on that. Nick?
Yes.
Thank you. Hillary?
Yes.
Thank you. Alex?
Yes.
Thank you. And James?
Yes.
Thank you. And myself, yes. Okay, Nick, if we could do a second
Yep.
part and now on a special permit.
I move to grant the petitioner, John Hammond, a special permit under sections 7.0 and 7.3 of the zoning bylaws. To build a one-story addition for an enclosed porch on an existing non-conforming side yard setback. That would increase, it's not really increasing the lot coverage, so I'm going to leave that out. On the property located at 14 Kingston Street in Reading, Massachusetts. Since we don't have a accurate certified plot plan, I want to condition this that the applicant shall submit to the building inspector a certified plot plan of the proposed construction prior to the issuance of permit for work.
I'd say with updated lot coverage calculations.
With an updated lot coverage calculation.
Right, very good.
And then
Okay, thank you.
There are architectural plans, I believe, if we want to reference those. The name and date.
Yes, there is, yeah. And I think we can just, and to be built in conformance, in general conformance with the submitted architectural plans.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, I think we have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Hillary. Any further questions by board members? No, hearing none. I'll query the board members again for their vote on a special permit. Nick?
Yes.
Thank you. Hillary?
Yes.
Thank you. Alex?
Yes.
Thank you. James?
Yes.
Thank you. And myself, yes. So unanimously, it passes 5-0-0 for a special permit and a finding made that the deck area has been there in excess of 10 years.
I'll draft those up next
And,
week.
okay, so you'll handle getting that written up then, Andrew. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay.
All right, Mr. Hammond, we will get you that decision and those stamped plans. And then please do, grab that updated plot plan as soon as you can.
I'll get that to you guys next week. And thank you all for your thoroughness with this and appreciate your assistance.
Thank you and good luck.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Glenn.
Yep.
Okay, and we did cover the minutes of the meetings that were out in that area of hiatus that we had at the beginning of
breaks of being late.
thank you. So we cleaned that up. Do we have any further business, Andrew?
We do not have.
I don't think we voted on those minutes, so.
We did when you were not here.
We did, James. You weren't there.
I did have a question. I made a change on one of the minutes that had to do with whether or not that dentist was a medical use or not. Did people agree with my change?
Yeah, we sent those to the board, and nobody changed any comments or added.
Okay.
Right. I think that went in that they were basically the board felt they were one and the same. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't have many other updates under other business. Okay. We're quite busy in the planning department and building and everywhere else in town.
I think every community's busy.
Yeah.
With, building permits, etc. A lot of home construction.
Right.
Additions.
So I would suspect that our June 3rd meeting is still going to be over Zoom. But after the state of emergency ends after June 15th, it's a bit TBD right now. It's possible that our June 17th meeting might be in person, but
Great.
I will have more updates on that as it goes along and we get a bit more guidance ourselves. So we're inching closer there. We're getting there.
Do you anticipate any applications for June 3rd?
We have one scheduled for June 3rd as of right now.
Yeah. We will be getting the packet for that soon, Andrew?
Yep, we'll send that out next week, right on Monday. We'll
Great.
send that case out and I'll try to wrap up the minutes from tonight before then.
Yeah, Andrew and I were talking on that earlier, and just for your information, Jamie, if you want, it was in the newspaper already, advertised as a legal notice on, it looks like, no, I can't, 5/12/21. So May 12th of this year, it came out in the paper.
What's the address?
The address is 63 Highland Street. So
I'll be on the lookout for it.
yeah, you might be able to find it. I don't know. I know you can find it if you can get into the Times Chronicle logs.
Yep.
I mean, they do have a log of legal notices and stuff. Yeah, into that. Question, Andrew, I had. Was it the last meeting we had a new building inspector? I'm surprised we didn't have him, and we had Glenn back tonight.
He was here tonight. That was Brett Bennett.
Oh, I'm sorry. I saw
no
him
worries.
the whole time. Yeah.
I think Glenn wrote the denial letters for the two projects tonight, so that's why he came.
Covering that area, yeah.
Yeah, so Brett's been great so far. He's learning quickly, and
great.
So Glenn is retired, Andrew?
No, not anytime soon.
For the second time, third time? Unless they haul him. I thought I was out, but they kept calling me back. Okay. And unless we have any further business, I would accept a motion for an adjournment.
I would just ask that members please reply back to the select board's office indicating if you're reapplying for your position and maintaining your board position if your term is expiring. That way we just have a heads up, they have a heads up, and I think there's a
Yeah.
form that you fill out or something.
I have already responded, Andrew.
Yep.
I don't know if you've seen that, and I don't know what other members will be
I
expiring
think
this
Nick's
June.
term expires.
Mine's
as
expiring
well.
end of June.
Yeah, I think so.
And I don't know if other board members know, but I have mentioned it to Andrew, and I have indicated to the town or to the select board that I will not be reapplying for reappointment. I'm going to end my 20-year tenure this year as a zoning board member.
Well deserved. You are big three. It was you, John, and Cy. So you're the last standing.
So, okay, if that's the case, as I said, I would entertain a motion then for adjournment.
Well, I would just, we're going to miss you. I'm sorry you're leaving. I know you're going to be around for questions. Your wife.
Oh yeah, I could be.
But we do have 2 associate members.
Oh yes.
And they certainly, I think, should be encouraged to apply for an open position. So I would hope Alex and you would consider that.
Right.
I did resubmit because I think mine immediately expired.
Yeah, I think associates are only 1 year, right?
So it immediately expired, but no, I did reapply to be an associate member. So at least in that role, I'm certainly looking to continue.
Well, are you going to reapply as a full member for the full member open position?
I don't think he can technically until
You have to wait until
a spot is really open.
Right.
But it's
Well,
something.
I mean, there is a spot open though. That's all I'm saying.
well, there will be.
Right. But I mean, it would be nice to have a smooth transition so we get the applicants before the select board, because sometimes they get busy and don't make the appointments for months after the position is expired. So I would just, if you are interested in being a full member, which I would encourage, that you get the application in indicating you would like to be a full member.
Yeah, I mean, I'd certainly like to hear Chris's thoughts on the matter as well. But yep, I'd say keep me updated and certainly
Will
take
do.
it under advisement.
You got it. That's it from me, folks.
Okay, and that's all I have. So again, I would accept the motion for an adjournment tonight.
I'll move to, I move that we adjourn for the evening.
Okay,
Until June 3rd, I guess. So-
Do I hear a second?
A second.
Thank you. All in favor? I'm not.
Yes.
Aye. Okay.
Alrighty. Thank you guys. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming tonight.
Thank you.
Enjoy the weather.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Night.